Hello everyone, Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be talking about the NFL predictions for Week 5 of the 2013-14 season. Let me get started. In the first game, we have upstart Cleveland Browns at home against the Buffalo Bills. You know, Cleveland, I was thinking not much better than an expansion team at the beginning of the season. But man, they've revived, the last 2 weeks. They've been revitalized. The quarterback has played exceptional, I think. They're pulling out all the stops. Buffalo, on the other hand, they've been, it's about the same 2-2 mediocre. They have 9 interceptions right now as a team defensively, which is number 1 in the league. They've given up 11 sacks. However, Cleveland is tied for 3rd in defensive sacks in the league. So it could be a battle, I believe, against Buffalo's, I would say, offensive line against Cleveland's defensive line, defensive front. And this game could be won in the trenches. This isn't Cleveland. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns in this one and come out and be 3-2. Next game, Chicago at home, and they're playing New Orleans. I want to take the Saints on the road in this one. Chicago, I wouldn't be too, astounded if they won. This game they've played a lot better than I thought they would this season. They've surprised a lot of cynics. But I believe New Orleans is at a level where they're almost at, I'm not going to say definitely yet, but they're close to what their Super Bowl 2009-10 season. And they're just on full throttle. The defense has improved dramatically with defensive coordinator Rob Ryan. He's done a phenomenal job. We look at Drew Brees, 10 consecutive games now with 300 or more yards thrown. I mean, he is amazing. He is arguably, as far as his numbers go, the last few seasons, he about the best quarterback in the league, the way he's played over that period. I know Peyton Manning is on a rampage this season. Manning is the best right now in this particular season, but Drew Brees, we can never overlook him in that explosive, volatile offense. I'm going to go with the Saints on the road in this one. Next game, I'm going to take New England on the road versus Cincinnati. This is one game where, Cincinnati has something going for them. They are 500. They have the league leader in tackles. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. He's a linebacker. Vontaze Burfict. I guess he's been everything but perfect and infallible as far as the tackling goes. And New England, though, they showed me something last week. People were questioning. They had a soft schedule. They went 3-0, they say, against easy teams. Well, they went to Atlanta, and despite Atlanta's 1-3 record, they showed me something. New England, Atlanta is nearly invincible at home. They're very good. Seattle, next to Seattle, I think Atlanta is just almost the hardest, one of the hardest places, second or third hardest place to play in the league right now. And they went in and beat them, and I think New England can do the same against Cincinnati this week. Next game, St. Louis. I'm going to take it home over Jacksonville. Jacksonville is obviously abhorrent. They're averaging 7.8 points per game. They've lost 12 of 13 dating back to last season. They are 3-21 in their last 24 if we count the preseason from, I know they're not significant, but, they were only 1-3 this preseason, and combined from the beginning of the regular season last season, they're 4-21, and that obviously is nothing to be jumping up and down and be too elated about. St. Louis at least can put some points on the board, and they can make some games competitive. So we'll go with St. Louis with slightly better offense and at home. Next game, I'm going to take Miami at home to bounce back against the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens, they're a team, kind of up and down, kind of sporadic. Miami is 3-1 now. They had that loss to New Orleans. They lost at a very tough place to play. New Orleans is obviously better this season than they were last year, and playing at New Orleans is going to be a formidable task for just about any team. And I'm going to go with Miami. To me, seems like they're very improved, can give New England a run for their money in the AFC East, and I think they'll take this game. I will pick them against Baltimore. Next game, I'm going to go a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to take the New York Giants at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants have been lamentable this season. Next to, maybe Jacksonville, Pittsburgh. Well, I mean, Giants to me actually could be the second worst team in the NFL. Philadelphia is the number one rushing team in the league. Giants are 28th in rushing defense. The Giants, they're similar to the Jets. They have like a dropsy and turnover epidemic or something going on with them. The two teams, with New York in front of them have, made some, have some commonality with them. Unfortunately, it's not good. Giants have gotten some talk from some of their players this week. Justin Tuck said he's going to, punch somebody in the mouth or something if he's one of the, anybody says something. I don't know what it was pertaining to. Obviously, if it was something derogatory, someone from the team said something about the team or something or negative, that he was going to hit him in the mouth. Now, I don't know if he'd literally do that, but he's trying to instill some life in the team. And I believe that this isn't going to be the end to all means to getting the Giants rejuvenated, but I think maybe this will help them a little. It is at home. Giants in Philadelphia are notorious for playing competitive games. I expect this one to be close. I'm going to take the Giants to pull this one out and get their first win this season. Next game, I'm going to take Green Bay at home over Detroit Lions. Now, can you say domination at Green Bay for the Packers over Detroit? They have won 22 consecutive games over the Lions at Green Bay, and no, I'm not lying either. This is a team that is obviously they're ready, I think to be, to start maybe to play a little bit better, Green Bay, and I think they can kind of get off their snide, and, so to speak, and and maybe get jump started against their division nemesis. And they believe Green Bay, though they might not be as good as they were the past few seasons, they're good enough at home to still beat the Detroit Lions. Possibly a competitive game though. Next game, I'm going to take Kansas City on the road over the Tennessee Titans. Now, Tennessee has obviously exceeded expectations. I'm kind of bewildered. They're 3-1 after 4 games. I believe they're tied with Indy for first place in the AFC South. They have one of the better turnover differentials in the league. I believe +9, 0 turnovers. I mean, that is bewildering. 0 turnovers after 4 games. I mean, I joked about the Titans and INTs and everything before the season started. Well, I'm eating my words right now, but I'm going to take the Kansas City is number 1 in scoring defense in the league, despite all the accolades that the coach and the quarterback Alex Smith is getting. The defense, which was okay maybe prior to this season, has really has played astronomically well. And this, Tennessee, they're going to start Fitzpatrick this game, and I know he wasn't a bad quarterback with Buffalo, but it's going to be the chemistry disruption I'm worried about. And I think Kansas City is just flat out right now the better team, whether it was Lockett or it's Fitzpatrick at QB. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one. Expect the Titans to make this a very tough game. If Titans don't commit any turnovers, they will be in it, could possibly win it, but I'm still going to go with the Chiefs. Next game, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks on the road over the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I know Indy, looks like the better pick in this game. Maybe to a lot of people, they are at home, and their domination over Jacksonville, the domination that they Indy subjugated on Jacksonville was beyond belief last week. But that was against the Jaguars. I know this is at Indy. Seattle showed me something last week. They showed some resolve and resiliency. They bounced back in a tough game on the road. I'm going to pick them this week to do it again. Arizona at home. I'm going to take them over the Carolina Panthers, and there's not much analysis in this one. Carolina is number 1 in total defense, but Arizona is at home. They're going to play, I think they're going to play pretty well. I want to see if Carolina can really do much on the road against Arizona in a little different environment as opposed to at Carolina. I'm going to go with Arizona. Next game, I'm going to take Denver on the road against Dallas. Denver is throttling, annihilating opponents. They're averaging nearly 45 points per game. Manning, you can't say enough superlatives with his about him. They're number one scoring offense, number one total offense. Denver's defense is obviously not too shabby either. This is obviously a team to be reckoned with. They look like the supreme team in the league. Dallas is Tony Romo. They have some good players on that team, but Denver is at such a high level. I believe they will win this game, and I'm going to pick them. San Francisco at home. I'm going to take them over Houston. I think, San Francisco in the last week they showed something. They got back to their running game a little more, and it set up the passing game for Colin Kaepernick. I think they continue it. I think Houston, since the end of last season, their defense has been exploited a little bit. I don't think it's as good as a lot of people believe it is, and I'm going to go with the 49ers to get, their second one in a row at home. This one will be at home. Next game. San Diego, I'm going to take on the road over the Oakland Raiders. San Diego Chargers, I think mainly just from the offensive standpoint, and with Phillip Rivers, I could see him throwing for 300 yards in this game, and I believe San Diego is a little bit better team than the Oakland Raiders right now. I think, we see Phillip Rivers, his experience at the QB position, I think will be enough for them to prevail over Oakland. Oakland might run the ball very well, but I don't know if they're going to do much else in this game. Last but not least, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons over the New York Jets. And Atlanta is at home. The Jets have a drop C epidemic. They couldn't get out of their own way last week. It was very demoralizing seeing that play by quarterback Geno Smith, when he tried, taking the ball from his right hand and turning it around his backside and then trying to get it with his left hand, and then in that process winds up, getting taken down, losing the ball, leads to a Tennessee Titans touchdown. But, it's just a team, the Jets look like, I thought they were out of the disarray state. They might be going back to it. Atlanta, they don't look as good as they did last season, but I think they're good enough at home to defeat the New York Jets, and I'm going to take them. So anyway, those are my predictions for Week 5 of the 2013-14 NFL season. Stay tuned next time, people, where I'll be giving my analysis and predictions for Week 6 of the 2013-14 NFL season. Until next time, people, stay well.